up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. Welcome to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. We eat with Ribeyes with Mike, as well as the pitchers I'm going to talk. Now, as always, we got to say a few things. We are 0-0 today, and I don't give out picks. I give out my bets. So today will be a shorter show as I only have 4 guys in the black book that I'm looking at, as we do appreciate those that have stuck with us through the years. So I do try to do 2 shows a week. Now, if you want my action, there is 2 ways to get it right now. 1, you could DM me on Twitter and pay me $50 a month. 2, I tried to tip the weatherman last night, Keith Roth for Roto Grinders on Twitter, and he's a man of the people. So I have a contest going on Twitter where the winner will be announced August 8th. Rules are must follow me, Spin Doc Sports, and Kevin Roth. Like, retweet the post, that simple. You will get Cash App $50, and you will get a month of my bets, and you will get a month of Spin Doc Sports bets as well. So it's over $150 worth of shit right there, including green fucking cash. So without further ado, guys, let's get to the money. If you like what you're hearing, please hit the like button. And if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. First guy we're going to talk about is Tyler Glasnow at the Reds. Morning line 7+ -149 on FanDuel, or 8+ or on MGM, or 8+ on FanDuel. Pitching out 16.5 at a pick'em. Earn runs 2.5 -140 to the under. Projected lineup is 5 righties and 4 lefties. Glasnow gets the Reds after we freaking shellacked them last night with Yoshi, guys. And their overall numbers are good. But who have you seen is what I'll say to that. And that's why I ran Yoshi. The key was there. Now with Glasnow, we have a guy in the zone 4.5% more than league average, yet has his worst zone contact since 2017. And his chase is down 5% from last year and 6% from league average. Well, his first pitch is drastically down 8% worse than league average, where over the past 2 seasons, he has been 5% better when it comes to the first pitch strike. Well, good news, guys, is Glasnow has been working his way back from injury, and the last few games have come to look like himself, as this year he has only thrown 36 innings compared to an average of 125 over the past 2 seasons. So if Glasnow is going to pound the zone, throw first pitch strikes, can we please get this damn lineup? As the projected lineup does not have Espanol or Trevino in it, and they are some of their better contact guys. And it's projected we have 6 of the 9 bad at zone contact, with one of those 3 that are good at zone contact takes first pitches and takes pitches in the zone. And if you get to a 2-strike pitch on Glasnow, whether it's 0-2 to 2-2, he is punching you out 65% of the time in this short season, 59% of the time last season. Now, a bonus with Glasnow, and why he does punch you out if he gets you to 2 strikes, is his chase contact is just a 0.5% worse than Spencer Strider through their careers. He's that type of elite if you are going to swing. Now, there is only 3 guys who chase in this projected lineup, but we have a guy who can pound the zone with his pitches, as well. So when I run this pitch mix versus this metrics that I just mentioned, I come up with 8. Now, the guys I don't want to see is Espanol, as Trevino has struck out 2 of 5 at bats, as he does have great zone contact, but he does chase. And he also takes in the zone that makes him gettable. The guys I wouldn't mind out is Lux, as I think he can get Friedel as he takes and will put himself in a 2-strike count. And the only pitch he whiffs to is a curveball, where Glass now uses that 29% of the time to put people away with. And Fraley, he says by the metrics he shouldn't strike out. He has struck out 2 of 2 at bats, and he whiffs to 3 of his 4 pitches. So everybody in this lineup is gettable. I have Lux as a 0.25, and everyone else is either a half to a 1.5, and it looks like it needs to be pounded. Excuse me. Now, lineups pending, guys. I first looked at the earned runs and was like, holy shit. This guy's a 2.5 for the first time, guys. That is a tad alarming. But look where they're playing. It's Cincinnati, and that bandbox, guys, which played to the most runs per ballpark last year, beating out that thin air of Colorado. So you're going to get stuff dropped or pushed up, and you can still hit your K prop even if you do give up some runs. Now, one thing I won't do, guys, is go hard as fuck. I went ham on Yoshi last night. Teams adjust after getting their nuts dropped on them. But if their adjustment is to swing first pitch, you're going to fall into a spot you do not want to be with Glass now, as he then strikes you out 45% of the time if he gets you down 0-1. If he gets you with 0-2 to 2-2, whether it's this year to last year, it's not worse than 59%. If their adjustment is to swing early, they could end up fucking dead. So lineups pending, guys. I am looking to be on Tyler Glass now today. And depending on who they put in, I may same game parlay it with De La Cruz to strike out and get some of the juice down. Now, the other side of this story is Nick Lodolo, and he gets my Doyers. He opened up 4.5 minus 150. Morning line was 6+ at plus 124 on FanDuel. He's pretty much plus money at all places. Now, 17.5 minus 125 for his outs to the under. Earned runs, 3.5. Wah, wee, wah, huh? They don't do this shit, guys. And it's minus 140 to the under. Projected lineup, 7 righties, 2 lefties. Lodolo gets my Dodgers, who over the past 200 plate appearances versus lefties are walking a tad over league average, striking out near 25% of the time with a top 10 isolated power. And one of my favorite things to do is, who have you seen in that time span? As Crochet went 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and had 10 punchouts, Robbie Ray went 6 innings, 2 earned runs with 6 strikeouts, and Framber Valdez went 6 innings, 4 earned runs with 7 punchouts. And the rest of these numbers came from guys I don't bet on. And y'all know I'm a Dodger fan, but we got to call it what it is. And they are hitting lefties a tad bit. They're not crushing them. A 4 ERA, guys, is less than 3 runs per 6 innings. That's good hitting. That's a good game for a pitcher too, though. So they're not destroying the good pitchers. And they're actually striking out 30% of their at-bats when they have faced the dogs. And now the question comes back to, guys, is Lodolo a dog? And that's what it comes down to, guys. And at the beginning of the year, I came into this thinking, okay, guys, I had big high hopes for Lodolo. I was expecting big improvements, big jumps, and it wasn't there. It just wasn't fucking there. And I was like, damn. And then I finally gave up on the kid after he got crushed by Cleveland. And over the last 7 weeks, he has went out there and just kept putting his dick down, hitting K-prop overs when he shouldn't. And over the last 5 weeks, guys, Lodolo was 9-0 coming into that when the metric said over or under with 6 guys with good zone contact. Since then, he's had 5 games. And he's now 10-2 to the metric if it says under and over. The 2 losses were games that said under. That's showing me the dog is fucking back. Now, the books are telling me the dog's about to get bent over and bent over really, really bad for a very, very long time. And putting a guy's earned runs at 3.5 is alarming. Very fucking alarming. Yes, can you hit your K prop while getting hit? Yeah. Every over I've bet with this man has hit when the zone contact was there. It was when the unders were there and I bet it that he didn't hit and he went over. And that's one of the reasons why you won't hear me say I'm betting an under again. I will wait for my gosh dang spots and then I will do the due diligence. So I'm going to pull up his earned runs real quick over the last few days. And where's that game at? Dodgers, Cincinnati, Lodolo. Last 10 games. 0-2, 0-3, 1-1, 2. Hasn't given up more than 3, but the Cleveland game over his last 10. And they're putting it at a 3.5. Yeah, he's giving up 4 runs today, guys. As crazy as that fucking shit sounds. So, don't know if I'm going to be on Lodolo today when I run this freaking lineup at the moment. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys good at zone contact. I want 6 guys bad at zone contact. Can they put a couple more guys out there and make it gettable? I don't believe Rushing's going to be out there as he caught last night, so I expect Smith to be in, and he's a good zone contact guy. And yeah, I just don't see it switching too much. So I'm going to be off Lodolo tonight. Can he hit it? Yeah, he's going to have to go deep. Can he go 7 innings and give up 4 runs and get his strikeouts? Yes. Is that a way to give up 4 runs? Yeah. Can he get pounded and still hit his strikeouts? I don't think versus the way this lineup is. No. Cleveland, we were on the over that day. He got the strikeouts. He just didn't do the earned run parts. He went out and got whacked. So if you think Nick Lodolo shoves today, then I guess your best guess would be the Dodgers team total under, but it's in the fucking lines that he's giving up 3 to 4 runs at minimum. And what's the Dodgers team total? Like, can't be too much more than the 4.5, right? So can he get 3 to 4 off Lodolo? Yeah, that's what they're saying they're going to do. So I'm not looking to bet guys under, so I'm sure as fuck just going to let Lodolo be. Now, I'm going to look at the next guy on the board. Do me a favor, if you like what you're hearing, smash the like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. Jesus Luzardo at the White Sox opened them up 6.5 plus, or 6.5 minus 110 on DK. It was pretty much, it's gone down to like minus 105-ish. Pitching out 17.5 at a pick'em. Earn runs 1.5 minus 155 to the over, or 2.5 minus 165 to the under. Projected is 9 righties, 0 lefties. Luzardo gets the White Sox, who over their past 200 plate appearances versus lefties say they're the best team in baseball versus lefties. As yeah, they're not walking 2.5% worse than league average, yet only striking out 21.5% of the time with the best isolated power in the game. Maybe some of the best isolated power numbers I've ever seen, as it's at a 271. Put that in perspective, the next best team is still 26 points lower to them. So are these numbers real is the question. And we go look at who they've seen. Sanchez last night, and I think he's a top 4 lefty in the National League, and he gave up 4 runs. And for the first time in the last 7 weeks, gave up more than 2 in a game. And he only struck out 5. It's gosh dang, did Team Sharpie get lucky hitting the Sanchez 5 hook to 6 with Yoshi, as he had 1K through 4 innings and ended on 5. So I looked at the month. So I look back and see who else they've seen. That's all they have seen. Not saying Chris Sanchez is a bum, but that's all they've seen in that time span. So I started going back through the month after, and I'm like, when they've seen a dog, what has happened? Robbie Ray went sick. Robbie Ray. Oh, Robbie Ray, you wascally wabbit. Robbie Ray. Dang. Hey guys. Okay. Robbie Ray went 6 innings, 1 earned run with 6 strikeouts. Framer Valdez went 5 innings, 2 earned runs with 12 strikeouts. So all in all, guys, they're really not hitting good lefties. But Sharpie, they just hit Sanchez. I'm going to put that off to a few bad pitches in the game, guys. And he hasn't had a bad game like that. And like I said, over 7 games. So he gave up his first home run, Sanchez did, to a left-handed bat this year in yesterday's game, as well as a pitch that looked foul, but it stayed. And those were his 2 freaking home runs. That was the 4 runs yesterday. Okay. Now, do I want to back Luzardo, guys, as he had tipping issues this year? And when he misses over the plate. And 3 of his last 4 games, guys, he hasn't made it past the 5th inning while giving up 4 runs or more in those games. Now, I did hit his K prop versus Boston last week, and it's obviously not tipping if you're still striking out 7. I think it's more in his head now. When he has a runner on second, when he has a runner on second, he starts to just get into his head, and that's not where you want to be. So we have a team smashing lefties, as well as the public remembering how Luzardo has looked and how the Sox got Sanchez last night. And yes, Sanchez is better than Luzardo. So why did the books not drop his outs? Why didn't they bump his hits up? And why the fuck are some books offering a 1.5 at -150? That's telling me, guys, they're willing to take the public over money that, oh, look what they did to Sanchez. Look what they're doing to lefties. Then why are they offering a 1.5 to a guy who's given up 3 runs or more in 6 of his last 10 games? You got a team smashing. And what's going on here? Now, I thought I was going to get in and back Luzardo, as obviously the books are begging for me to say he's going to get rocked, and they believe he's going to come out and shove today. So what Luzardo do we get? Do we get the one before May 31st? Because if that's him, this guy goes out and shoves today and doesn't hit his K prop probably, because the books are begging for over money on his K prop. 6.5 -105-ish, guys, at the time of this write-up. He's hit that 60% of his last 10, 5 of his last 6. So the books know something, and that's what I know. If I'm running any over, it's Chase. He is 12-3 this year to the metric, under or over, with the 1 loss being on the over to the Blue Jays when it said over. If you got 6 guys that chase, you go over. It says 2 of his losses, I mean, there's still freaking 5 wins, 2 losses. I just won't ever bet under again. It says if there's 6 guys who chase, you should take the under. I don't know if I could bet this guy because, like I said, do we get the guy before May 31st? Because before May 31st, when he didn't strike people out and he gave up 2 runs or less in 4 of those 5 games, that tells me, okay, the guy can go out there and pitch to contact and have a great game. Another thing I've also learned with this guy is he pitches more to contact when he is with Marchand, not with Real Maltu. But since May 31st, he's given up 4 more runs, guys, in all 4 games. He hasn't hit his K prop. So I'm getting mixed signals, guys, from the books. They believe he shoves, yet they don't think he strikes out people. I just don't know if I could put my money, guys, on a guy who since May 31st, if he hasn't hit his K prop, has been bent over backwards, even though the books are telling me this guy's going to go deep today. So I do got a free MLB bet on Luzardo. I'm not on Luzardo, on DraftKings today. It's like only $25. So I'll probably do like a 3-4 parlay and throw it on there in this game. And if this is the lineup I get, I'll probably throw the under on there. I don't care if I lose a free bet and get it back. But the top 5 don't chase. The bottom 4 do. Can he still hit 7 strikeouts? Yeah, if he goes 7 innings, it could be right there on that 6-7. But as this is slated with Meredith, Slater, Cuero, Vargas, Benintendi in the top 5, those 5 don't chase. And if they're not going to chase, there's a problem. And Sosa doesn't chase either. That's another problem. That's 6. The guy is 5-3 to the under when he got guys who don't chase. But like I said, Luzardo before May 31st still shoved when he didn't strike people out. Since May 31st, if he doesn't strike people out, he walks away getting DP'd, and he's only got 1 hole. So, yeah, take that in. I will not put a lot of money on Luzardo today. It'll be pretty small. Like I said, I'll just throw a free bet parlay and just try to go ham on it. Maybe when we talk hitting props, we'll get a hitting prop from that guy in that game, and or I could throw in another game. Whatever sounds the best, I'll take it. Last guy before we get into the hitting props is Max Fried versus the Rays. Morning line 6+ -118 on FanDuel. It was -105 on MGM when I woke up. His outs are 18.5 -150 to the under. Earned run, guys, the same as Luzardo's. 1.5 heavy juice to the over or 2.5 heavy juice to the under. Projected lineup is 9 righties, 0 lefties. Fried gets the Rays, who over their last 200 plate appearances versus a lefty are walking 1.5% less than league average, striking out 23% of the time with a bottom 10 ISO. And I want to hammer the earned runs or team total under for the either Fried earned runs under, or I want to hammer the Yankee or the Rays team total under. Want to. Want don't mean I can. As there's been a problem here, guys. He's in a spot that he hasn't seen in the past 5 years. I didn't go past to see if it's that, as he has not had 4 games in a row since 2020 at least, giving up 3 earned runs in every game or more. We're at that spot. Another thing I learned back in 2020 is this motherfucking Max Fried is a gamer. He gets better and better month by month, and when you look at his career ERAs, it's the worst in April, gets better in May, gets better in June, gets better in July. All-Star break, flips the switch, and into the playoffs, he becomes a machine. Today counts for Max, guys. Let me talk to you. Now, the issue is I don't think I could bet him until I watch the first inning, as Max has been dealing with a blister issue, and it showed in his last game. As through the year, guys, he has thrown 73% fastballs, be it a four-seam, cutter, or a sinker. Last game, it was 82% of the time. As well as his curveball, which is a blister-causing pitch, usage was down to near 12% compared to near 17% on the year, and his sweeper usage on the year was 11%, and his changeup was a tad over 9%. Those were both at 4%. On 102 pitches, he threw 82% fastballs last week. Is that blister causing? Yeah, probably, guys. Is his blister better? I don't know. I need to see close to what he does in the first inning. He's a 73% fastball type on the year. I need to see close to that. I'll take 75 in the first inning. I need to see a couple breaking pitches. If he's going to try to just 3-pitch fastball him with a couple breaking balls and baby this blister along, I cannot back Max Fried today. So if he's going to be the Max Fried that I know he can be, yes, I'm going to hammer it live and get in and drop my nuts on the table. But if I see close to that 80% fastball, sinker, cutter in the first inning, I'll be at work. I'll be paying attention. I'll be making little marks on a piece of paper. I'll post if I get in live, but yeah. So as of right now, guys, Glasnow is the only one speaking to me. I'll probably do a parlay with how I want to back Luzardo, but I wouldn't put a lot of money on it, guys. I don't got faith in the guy. But I do know how to read lines, and I do know what the public does. The public remembers yesterday more often than not. Sanchez got blasted. Sanchez is better than Luzardo, I will say that. And the White Sox are the best hitting team in baseball versus a lefty over the last month. And 6 of his last 10, Luzardo, he's given up 3 or more runs. Why the fuck is it at a 1.5 -150 on his earned runs? Tells me we getting that old Luzardo, guys. And if that's it, I'm going to have a $25 parlay that pays me really, really well. Because I'll probably take his strikeouts under, his outs over, and the earned runs under, and get some stupid plus money. I'm going to try to act like I'm Bill Belichick and call the whole game and watch that fucker get 7 exactly and fuck me square in the eye hole. But yeah, it'll be my free bet with the parlay. So I'm not going to go too crazy. Fried is a watch first inning. If we can get 22 to 25% breaking balls. We're getting in live to back the team total under at least first 7. I'm down to back Weaver and Williams. Yes, Weaver has had his issues, but lately they've been going Hill Williams. So either which way, I like the back end of the pin. They have fucked me once or twice, but they've won me a lot of money as well. So without further ado, guys, if you haven't smashed the like button, please do. And if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. It's that time, guys. It's that time to talk hitting props. We've been gone from this show for a week or two, but he has his show every fucking day of the week and then streams on the weekend for y'all too. Y'all know him as Mike. I know him as the last fucking Megalodon living.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
It's a 70-foot shark, my guy. How you been? Been a minute?
It's been a minute, dude. I'm glad to see it. Hope all is well. The fam, you guys doing well, doing the thing. How's the daughter doing?
Man, she has to live here, bro. You couldn't ask for anything else.
God is good.
God is great. You know what's good too? Baseball.
Baseball hasn't been good to me this past week, man. Coming out of this All-Star break has been rocky at best. But, man, we had over 100 units in the first half of the season. So think about that, Sharky. One unit bets. We're putting up over 100 units in baseball. Let's go.
Usually I cower at my big bets, but since I've added in a little extra to some of these guys, I'll put 300-400 on a guy and feel comfortable now. I put 300 on Yoshi last night. And I also had another 100 on Sanchez 5, Yoshi 6. And then he had 0 after 21 pitches. I walked outside of work, lined into DraftKings, put another 200 on the 4.5 minus 135, and then put $50 on every guy to strike out that was up next. He struck out 2 of the next 3, hit a bunch of 200s with the strikeouts. And then I was like, all right, motherfucker. And then he got 7 after 84 pitches. So I went back to my group and I says, bro, we're not fucking done. Put another 130 to win 100 down. I killed him on Yoshi last night.
Nice.
Killed him.
Nice. We've some weird results here the last couple of days, particularly. And, you know, I had some unders yesterday. I was pretty heavy under on the card. Not the right spot to be when all these overs were coming through and cashing. Teams like the Rockies putting up an 8-pack. You see the White Sox tossing up a 6-pack. But, hey, it's that time of the season. We got the trade deadline right around the corner. So it's going to be fun to see who's changing jerseys as they get rolling out there. I'll tell you who's not. Some of them Cleveland Guardians, man. I wish I was in on the know. Them boys. Fucking.
Bro, that dude told on Class A.
Yeah, dude.
He straight ratted on him.
He straight up rolled. You know, they said that they're from the same area, so they were using the same betting group apparently, and that's kind of how things got awry. Was they looked at this guy and they saw that he was playing the pitch to be a walk, and I mean, arguably, if you looked at Class A and what he was doing, you could have probably guessed he was going to throw some walks out there. But still,
Bro, there were games where I would, because I like to go heavy on unders when you got like a Cleveland, San Francisco, Cleveland, Mets, any good bullpen. When we get to the 6th, bro, I will throw $100 on the under live. It's more often than not. Last night, Pittsburgh, San Francisco. Bro, I know Bender's coming in. I know their back end isn't bad. Bender ain't traded yet. Until he's freaking gone, then I'll freaking not bet Pittsburgh. But it's just Red Sox, Dodgers, same thing. Every time it got to the 6th, jump in again. And more often than not, bro, these good bullpens do their jobs.
I'll tell you, one of the things that's been, I said this on my show too, one of the things that's been kind of remarkable is breaking these teams down into their thirds. You know, so to your point, you're looking at the relievers and the closers to some degree, and it's like the Mets are one of those teams. You see them first 3, maybe they catch a lead, middle 3, they choke on their nutsacks, and then that bottom third, they come back and they fire. And not so much last night, but still, there's some ways to look at these teams as we get to the second half of the season. But hey, man, I got a 4-pack. I'm ready to go. Are you?
I've been ready.
Let's go. Yes, that's right, man. You stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Hey, I love it. We got ourselves some action. I tried to look at the teams that I think are either underperforming or still are in kind of production mode, right? So, like, you look at a team like the Cubs, what a terrific series they've got going on with this Brewer squad. First place in the NL Central is at bat for these guys, or on the doorstep here. And, we talked about it going into the All-Star break where the Cubs were kind of slacking a little bit, and the Brewers were stepping on throats. They go down early, 3-0 yesterday, and firing. And they handed Matty Boyd that loss. Not too many losses on the season for Matty Boyd. He's been playing pretty well with an 11-4, but hey, the relievers come through. They find a way to smash on this Cubs team. And the reason I talk about Cubs is because I think they're in a good bounce back spot here. Competitive teams. It was the Brewers. Brewers in the first game of the series had a great number on it versus fading the Cubs. But I think tonight you got to look at the Cubs. I think you got to go for these guys. And if they're going to go out there and produce, especially if we're going to see runs, I got to take a look at who's the guy who's the straw that stirs the drink. And there's a lot of great ball players out there on this Cubs team. We talked about him start of the year. One of my favorite teams as far as their hitting production, but I got to look to Seiya Suzuki because he's kind of been overlooked out here going back to the All-Star break. And I don't know if he just took I don't know if it's a chip or not, but he's got to certainly refine that chip. Either way, you got Quentin Priester on the mound, and this guy certainly reigns terror on a lot of the batters he faces. However, when you peel the numbers back, not so much with Seiya Suzuki. Not a ton of sample, granted, but 5 at-bats. He's hit him 3 times. One of them was a homer. He drove in 2 RBIs. And number 1 RBI producer on the Chicago Cubs team, Suzuki. So, yeah, he's been underperforming. I think this team needs to get back together. They need to get their guys going. And why not catch a spark here against a guy that he's had some success with? Now, lefties-wise, a little bit of a problem. Suzuki certainly goes out there and locks him down. Michael Bush, Kyle Tucker, PCA, but plenty of runs in the squad out there. And still, none the same. If Suzuki cracks it yard, it still counts. Favorable hitting conditions at American Family Field. Looks like we're almost 9 miles an hour going out left to right. And he's plus 160 to start the card off for us. So we'll take Suzuki plus 160 for the first ribeye of the day.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Quinn Priester throws a form of a fastball 88% of the time, be it a four-seam sinker or a cutter. He is batting 307 off a sinker, 344 off a cutter, and then 220 off a four-seam. He's going to get a knock today, bro.
He's got it for us. I like to open the card up with a winner, so it sounds like that one's going to get us there.
I like it, bro. What was the plus money on it?
160. I thought was a very generous price tag, considering, again, the numbers that you were talking about. When I first woke up this morning, I was looking down the card, and I saw, boy, this guy's got some of the best numbers on the card. Granted, again, small sample, but over the year in terms of production, he's been kind of that top of the class when it comes to the Cubs. So we'll go back to this guy, and we'll see if he can't figure out some of that groove. Get him in the rhythm. Get him in the rhyme.
Get on up. It's bobsled time.
Picking up what I'm putting down, Sharpie. You talked a little bit about Jesus. And not the guy in the sky, but the guy on the rubber out there with this Philadelphia Phillies team. A little surprised to see this White Sox team smash them. But I did say I think the White Sox are one of those teams that'll close the gap a little bit. Young guys feeling inspiration. I still think if you're on a shit team like the Rockies, a shit team like the White Sox, when it comes trade deadline time, you got some promise that you're going to get the hell out of Dodge and get on an actual contender. And I think that gives these guys a little bit of a spark. And that's why we're seeing teams like the White Sox start to find. Now we'll see what happens in 2 weeks when they realize you're stuck here in Chicago and you're not even on the Cubs, you're on the White Sox. But hey, I got to look on the other side of things. And it's Jonathan Cannon I want to pick on. 4-5 inning type of guy out there. So we're going to get, I feel like we got 2 at-bats against this guy, which means the metrics are pretty strong. 4.48 ERA, last 17 outings, I guess, out there. So we got a pretty good sample. He's been struggling as of late. He's got a 5.63 over his last 8 starts. And I think this is a guy I want to pick on when it comes to this Phillies team because they have been underperforming. They have been failing to get to that team total mark. And I think this is a spot. Despite all of that failure, here's where I overlap expectations with performance, not just pie in the sky, and these guys should get it done. But look, as bad as the Phillies bats have been rolling, they're still tops in baseball since the All-Star break. 376 OBA is good enough to be number 2 against right-handed batters. Surprising, considering they can't get a team total. Their batting average in general, a 272, is 5th against righties. And their WRC plus is 2nd best in all of baseball, 141. ISO, they're hitting the power. When they do make contact, that ball's getting in play. It's a 281. Good enough to be the number 1 team in baseball, this Philadelphia Phillies, against righties since the All-Star break. So we have now going into our third series. series. Guy I want to look at is Real Muto. Not the best in terms of, catchers. Is he the best catcher that's out there in the league? Well, we know there's a couple others that we want to focus in on. But, man, look, 15-game sample. So we drill down. We look at this guy's recent performance. He's got that 349 batting average. He's got an 883 OPS. He's hitting 310 against righties on top of that out there, suggesting we got some consistent performance. And he's a plus 170 price tag. Give me some JT action. Plus 170 against this White Sox team. I still think the White Sox probably find a way to get the win tonight, unfortunately. But still, 170 for Real Muto. Good spot for us to get paid.
I'm getting mixed signals from the books. Like, they're telling me Luzardo shoves, bro. Shoves.
He's kind of in a bounce back spot, right? His recency.
I don't know about bounce back spot. He's been freaking ass, bro. Like, can I really try? Why are they putting his runs at a 1.5 minus 150 to the over? Why?
Because it's the White Sox.
No, the White Sox are the best hitting team versus lefties over the last month, and they just crushed Christopher Sanchez.
I don't know if it was just that last game there that they left him in. I mean, it's hard to say they left him in too long. It was 5 innings, but he got fucking smashed. He gave up 6 runs. So recent performance, he had a 2, then he went 7 innings. That was against the San Francisco Giants. That was a 13-0 shutout. So yeah, you give it to him. But after he kind of hit that peak, he's been on the down form. 4.2 innings, 5 innings, runs. He's given up 15 runs in his last 4 starts out there. I do think that qualifies for bounce back.
So they don't drop his outs, they don't drop his hits, and they drop his earned runs to a 1.5. What the fuck, bro? The books aren't dumb, bro. The books are not dumb, but they're also playing whole games with his K prop here. So it's like they want you to bet the over. So when I looked back before May 31st, if he didn't strike you out, he gave up 2 runs or less in 4 of the 5 games. But since then, he's got demolished every time he hasn't struck people out.
He's gotten 7 Ks in his last 4 starts. Seven.
That too. Why are they happily petting that 6.5 at damn near even money?
I do see the signals.
Bro, I'm seeing the mixed signals. That's why I'm going to throw my free bet parlay on that today. And I'm going to have to put JT in it because you talked that game and JT's going in it.
And I don't want to be on the puss safe side of things here, but tight game for sure, especially with the lack of ability to get to their team total performance out there. But the run line, minus 105, you could probably find some even money spots on that White Sox run line out there. I don't know if it's puss safe, but I think it's a tight game. I think I think Sanchez can still, Luzardo can still do his thing out there, but I think it's a tight game. We see the totals at that key number at 9, slightly juiced to the over. I don't know. I don't know if they're expecting some. We'll see. This is a tight game for sure, but I still like Real Muto. Fuck him. 170. Let's go.
Fuck him right in the eye hole.
By the way, I caught the DP comment. I mean, there are technically 2 holes, but that's a different story.
Oh, Lord, the Heavenly Father, Lord, forgive him. He doesn't know better. All right. Back to the third guy on the list.
Let's go to the Angels. Let's take a look here. This is a guy that I've been fucking hammering, and he went, whoa, take a step back. I've been betting his action pretty consistently, and he was on a hell of this guy might be underrated. One of the best tears going into the All-Star break here was Joey Adell. Man, and he's got Patrick Corbin on the bump. Now, Patrick Corbin has been a bit of an enigma this year. Shouldn't be in the league anymore. He's fucking old man time. And the thing about Corbin, when I say that, is even though you look at his years and you're like, he still might have a couple in him, what they do with Corbin, especially when he was with the Nationals, is they left him to get out there. Again, it was roast him like a fucking marshmallow at the campfire, man. This guy would go, he'd give up 6 runs, 7 runs, 8. They still keep him in because they didn't want to manage their bullpen, I guess, or they just didn't have the pieces out there. Nonetheless, he goes over to Texas. He starts the year phenomenal. Right, he's kind of, for Patrick Corbin purposes, and he's got himself a 3.78 ERA. He kind of went down the shitter there, like towards the end of June, coming into the All-Star break. But then, man, his last 4, he's taken that ERA to around a 2. So, are you going to fade Patrick Corbin? The answer is yes, because we know that we've got the hitting-friendly confines of the LA Angels opportunity. Corbin goes on the road; his ERA on the road's a 4.39. So, yeah, he's been performing better, but he's still miserable on the road. And, in terms of comparison, it's almost a 1.5 higher than when he's at home. So his FIP goes up 2 full points out there. So the road is an issue for this guy. And Joey Adell's been a fucking monster. Now, the weird thing, I like to look at lefties on the mound, and I like to start thinking fades here. And of course, like the last 3 weeks, the Rangers have been a team that's been identified as a fade and go to the under spot. Not fade the Rangers, but go to the unders. And they're still finding a way. That athletic series, that 8th and 9th inning, they're swinging until the end. So I think we see some fireworks. I think we see some performance. Again, the key number set at 9, moved up from 8.5, so it kind of supports the run factor. The Angels, lefties, since the All-Star break, hitting 8th best in baseball, 349 OBA, 125 WRC plus is 7th best. They're getting walked quite a bit as well. So that strike discipline, that plate discipline is intact as well. 351 OBA at home against lefties as well. So all signs point to give me somebody, and it's Joey Adell, 145, right in that sweet spot for a guy that's been nothing but consistent on a shit team. And I think it's a good opportunity for us to get us back here for plus 145. Adell.
Plus
RBI.
145, bro. I'm over. You got me looking at hitting props now like a jackass. That shit's minus 155. They know. What is his fucking double at? I'm looking at Neto, bro. Neto has seen him 6 times, has a double and a home run, and over the last 3 seasons is top 10 in every fucking power category there is versus a lefty. And this is a bum lefty. Ward hits 462 off the guy. I think Ward's also in a good spot to bring Neto in. Trout sucks cock, bro, but if he gets a hold of it, it's gone. Yeah, I think Corbin gets mauled today, bro.
Yeah,
I know.
This is a tricky spot. I think the Los Angeles Angels team total over is a strong look. I think you've got plenty of different ways to get paid when it comes down to it. The Rangers, man, as much as their bats have come to life, I took a spot yesterday and I thought was a good look there with DeGrom, and it was him 7+ strikeouts, so we got a 7. And then the Rangers to win. Well, they were fucking down early and then often, and they just couldn't recover. I don't know that they bounced back. Josh Jung's another guy that's supposed to have some favorable ratings here today, but he only hits a 143 against Kikuchi. So I stayed away from that Texas side. If I was going to go back, if you gave me a free bet and said, who would you take on the Rangers? It'd be Corey Seager. Again, I had him yesterday. He underperformed out there, and I think this guy has been too consistent on that Texas team to continue to stay at this rate. Lefty-righty matchups. Lefty on lefty, he smacks him. He's hitting a 247. He's second highest on the team behind Sam Haggerty. And guess who's in front of him? Sam Haggerty. So Corey Seager's not a terrible look either. But for all intent and purpose here, I'm going to jump in with some Joey Adell. He's been my guy.
Bro, Zach Neto is the cheapest plus money in the whole game for a double. That's crazy. Over Trout, over Seager, over all them dudes. He's plus 285 to get a double tonight. What's his home run at? Home run. He is plus 400. Yeah, I'm going to throw like 25 on both assists.
And Corey Seager's home run prop is down to plus 140. Crazy numbers, dude. Those are stupid numbers.
I got plus 250, but I still wouldn't bet it.
Seager's down to a 125 for an RBI. There's Ward with a 140 as well. Where's Neto? There's Haggerty. Scrub I was talking about. 260. And there's Neto. Plus 170 over at DraftKings for Neto to get an RBI out there. Some good money too, man.
Yeah, but the back end of the Angels lineup is so bad.
Yeah, that's true. No doubt about that.
Like you would want like Renfigo to be at the 9 hole, so you would have somebody on base, hopefully.
Renfigo, I can't find it. And Darnold as well, coming over from the Braves there, has been certainly a letdown position. Camparo, never seen Patrick Corbin. That's going to be an issue for that guy. Yeah, you're right. The bottom of that lineup sucks.
I'm trying to find just straight hit for Neto, and I don't think they're going to offer me that. Is that freaking cock holster shit? Total base. Oh, hits. There we go.
Yeah, there's
minus 300. You're going on a parlay today, Mr. Neto. All right, my guy. Let's get to the last guy.
Last but not least, my friend, we're going to go down to it. Look, I think this team's, we talked about it. I've talked specifically. It's going to be the Phillies versus the Tigers. in the World Series. And I got to put my money where my mouth is here. I love this spot here. The fucking Diamondbacks fucked themselves up. They broke themselves. They did it. Maybe they did it on purpose because they lost that. They got swept that series over the weekend. Maybe. Then you start moving pieces around and you take a guy like Naylor and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, what are we doing out there? And hey, they got the under yesterday for this Tigers game. It was an early explosion on the offense, but then the bullpen for Detroit or Arizona kind of came in and locked things down 5-1. But the Tigers, mediocre. Underperforming. They only won one game against that Toronto series. They had road starts against that All-Star break. They're coming off the All-Star break. They go back home. They get busted up 3 times out of 4, but they found back-to-back wins. The offense, maybe 10 runs against that Toronto game, 5 runs yesterday against the Arizona spot there. Are we starting to catch this team picking it up in waves? Maybe. Guy I want to look at here is Gleyber Torres. Former Yankee. A lot of his exposure there came against this. Well, at least when he was pitching out there and facing some of the or batting rather, facing some of the pitching staff, it was with that Yankee squad. But this guy's at 215. His on-base percentage, he's got a 379. His last 7 days, he has come to life. 27 at-bats, 6 hits, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Keep that in mind. 7 days. They weren't scoring shit for runs up until the last 2 days. So he still found a way to pick up 4 RBIs. Played yesterday. Just got 1 hit out there against Arizona. So rolling back at him in the month of July, we zoom in to see what he's been doing in recent form. Despite that struggling offense, 20 hits, 6 RBIs. Detroit's going to be back in a bye position here if they can get through this Arizona Diamondbacks series. And I think Gleyber Torres at 215 is too stupid, too good to give up there. Let's take a shot with a big score. Close the card out for us.
He said, too stupid. Plus monies.
Plus monies. Yes, I see you guys in the chat. Timmy Tucci says Stowers. Some really great looking spots across the board today. I think, yeah, the runs are coming now. We got that All-Star break coming up here. Or I'm sorry, the trade deadline coming up. So think about some of these guys on shit teams that are in a position to go out there and strike, and maybe Stowers. I don't know if you're Miami, you want to give that guy up or not, though.
Yeah, but I would hate to be betting a guy who gets traded mid-game, and there goes your fucking money.
Or 5 minutes before. And
hey, at least you get it back.
Yeah. Unless, well, it still fucks up the whole process of how I stretch the stack out across the board. It does mess me up when one of these guys gets pulled out. But I think it's a great looking card today. I think we have some really good opportunities, and it's summer baseball, which means balls are going to be flying.
Balls are flying, and these unders have been pretty good after the 6, boys. Let me tell you, let these pitchers get sodomized and follow the bullpens. Appreciate you guys always. It's Tuesday. I got work today, unfortunately, but Mike's got his show going. Let him know what you got going on, where they can find you.
Yeah, man. We got things rocking. 6 p.m. We'll be doing pre-gaming. And I think I'm going to drop on live and do some horse racing tonight with our friend. Look, check me out. I got a winnable thing going on, Sharpie. Winnable. /Mikey Money. And I gave out a free play for this Baltimore O's this afternoon. So I'm going to be sweating here. I just see that it was 4-1. 2 runs scored. Jays. Now it's 4. I'm sorry. Yeah, 4-1. Now it's 4-3. So let's see if we can.
Another game where if it's closer tied at the 6, I'm getting in on the under.
Dude, they had fucking the number was pegged at 10. I was like, whoa, and it's a doubleheader, so I always get a little trepidatious about that.
Hey, there's 7 right now, bro. They might get over the 10, and I might get the 10 and like the 11 and a half, 12, and I'll cash, bitches. But I only want 2 good bullpens, though. I don't want guys who are going to go out and just shit on me all over the place. And do they have good bullpens? No, but they have decent back ends of the bullpen, and that's where I want. And I love Baltimore's back end. Toronto, just hang in there. I'm not sold on Baltimore's bats. So get it to the 6, closer tied, and I'm down to get in for. I'll throw out, man. I'm almost coming 100 in a napkin these days, motherfuckers. Like, woo, Ric Flair status. Yeah, bro, my DraftKings account it's got more money than my bank account in it right now. But dude, sometimes I rage bet, and it's either good or bad, and it's been really good lately. Like betting a bunch of unders the other night, pissed off. But there were so many good teams that were playing that destroyed the starting pitchers and got to the bullpens. It was like, what the fuck? Here we go. Here taking 10.5, 11.5, 12.5, and it died at 7. I've got all. I'm like, hooga chugga. Last night I did it with the stupid Pittsburgh game and sweated that out, bro. Like, fucker had, fuck. It was 6-4 going into the bottom ninth. I had 11.5, like 3 different times. I'm like, I don't know why they keep offering 11.5. Fucker scores 6-5, runner on first and second, 2 outs. And I'm like, oh, this is why they had an 11.5. I mean, I'll pay 188 to win 100 type shit on those numbers where I'm like, they're not scoring again here. And then, oh, fuck, Jung-Lo Lee singles. All we're like, oh, no.
Oh,
And
fuck.
it stopped
Yep.
6-5. It stopped 6-5.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Just the way I drew it up.
Just the way you planned it.
No, the one that didn't go as planned was the Milwaukee game last night. I took that 6-4, and then they hit a 2-run bomb right after I bet it. Like, right after. Those sons of bitch. You know what I noticed them not doing? I don't know if it's for everybody, but they stopped doing it for me last night. I cannot bet batters strikeouts after the 7th inning. They won't let me. They won't let me take the reliever.
In all fairness, I haven't really looked.
Bro, but they have the lines up grayed out to me, bro. But I've been hammering these fucks. You want to give me a guy who's out the pin versus an A's batter who strikes out versus any batter I know who sucks, bro. These guys have 2-to-1 strikeout, freaking 2 strikeouts per inning ratios. And I'm like, ha, ha, ha. Edwin Diaz versus fucking Willie Adames. Here we go. Plus 200 my ass. Fucking strikes out in 3 pitches. You're like, get the fuck out. They gave me like plus 225 on Matt McClain yesterday, bro. Twice. The fuck out of here, bro. What is wrong with these people?
Cleveland's going to take care of us doing live prop betting like that, though.
Bro, I'm a fool, bro. I get bored now that I got that money in my account. It's like, fuck it. And if I bet 2 plus 200s and I hit one of them, I'm a happy guy.
Sure. It's not doing any good sitting there. That's for sure.
Nope, it's just sitting there. So, yeah, appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Like I said, smash the like button if you haven't. Until next time, I'm Sharpie's Bets. He's the guy who pimp slapped your mother. But no, for sure. Check y'all later, fellas.